Abul Pakir Jainulabdin Abdul Kalam, better known as APJ. Abdul Kalam, October 15, 1931, July 27, 2015, was the 11th President of India from 2002 to 2007. A career scientist turned statesman, Kalam was born and raised in Rameswaram, Tamil Nadu, and studied physics and aerospace engineering. He spent the next 4 decades as a scientist and science administrator, mainly at the Defence Research and Development Organisation, DRDO, an Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, and was intimately involved in India's civilian space program and military missile development efforts. He thus came to be known as the Missile Man of India for his work on the development of ballistic missile and launch vehicle technology. He also played a pivotal organizational, technical, and political role in India's Pokhran II nuclear tests in 1998, the first since the original nuclear test by India in 1974. Kalam was elected as the 11th President of India in 2002 with the support of both the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party and the then opposition Indian National Congress. Widely referred to as the People's President, he returned to his civilian life of education, writing and public service after a single term. He was a recipient of several prestigious awards, including the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor. While delivering a lecture at the Indian Institute of Management Cologne, Kalam collapsed and died from an apparent cardiac arrest on July 27, 2015, aged 83. Thousands including national-level dignitaries attended the funeral ceremony held in his hometown of Rameshwaram, where he was buried with full state honors. By his early childhood, Kalam's family had become poor. At an early age, he sold newspapers to supplement his family's income. In his school years, Kalam had average grades but was described as a bright and hard-working student who had a strong desire to learn. He spent hours on his studies, especially mathematics. After completing his education at the Schwartz Higher Secondary School, Ramanathapuram, Kalam went on to attend St. Joseph's College, Tiruchirappalli, then affiliated with the University of Madras, from where he graduated in physics in 1954. He moved to Madras in 1955 to study aerospace engineering in Madras Institute of Technology. While Kalam was working on a senior class project, the dean was dissatisfied with his lack of progress and threatened to revoke his scholarship unless the project was finished within the next 3 days. Kalam met the deadline, impressing the dean, who later said to him, "I was putting you under stress and asking you to meet a difficult deadline." He narrowly missed achieving his dream of becoming a fighter pilot, as he placed 9th in qualifiers, and only 8 positions were available in the IAF. After graduating from the Madras Institute of Technology in 1960, Kalam joined the Aeronautical Development Establishment of the Defence Research and Development Organisation, DRDO, as a scientist after becoming a member of the Defence Research and Development Service, DRDS. He started his career by designing a small hovercraft, but remained unconvinced by his choice of a job at DRDO. Kalam was also part of the INCO-SPAR committee working under Vikram Sarabhai, the renowned space scientist. In 1969, Kalam was transferred to the Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, where he was the project director of India's first satellite launch vehicle, SLV-3, which successfully deployed the Rohini satellite in near-Earth orbit in July 1980. Kalam had first started work on an expandable rocket project independently at DRDO in 1965. In 1969, Kalam received the government's approval and expanded the program to include more engineers. In 1963 to 1964, he visited NASA's Langley Research Center in Hampton, Virginia, Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland, and Wallops Flight Facility. Between the 1970s and 1990s, Kalam made an effort to develop the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, PSLV, and SLV-3 projects, both of which proved to be successful. Kalam served as the 11th President of India, succeeding K.R. Narayanan. He won the 2002 presidential election with an electoral vote of 922,884, surpassing the 107,366 votes won by Lakshmi Sahgal. His term lasted from July 25, 2002 to July 25, 2007. During his term as president, he was affectionately known as the People's President, saying that signing the Office of Prophet Bill was the toughest decision he had taken during his tenure. Kalam was criticized for his inaction in deciding the fate of 20 out of the 21 mercy petitions submitted to him during his tenure. Article 72 of the Constitution of India empowers the President of India to grant pardons and suspend or commute the death sentence of convicts on death row. Kalam acted on only one mercy plea in his 5-year tenure as president, rejecting the plea of rapist Dhananjoy Chatterjee, who was later hanged. Perhaps the most notable plea was from Afzal Guru, a Kashmiri terrorist who was convicted of conspiracy in the December 2001 attack on the Indian Parliament and was sentenced to death by the Supreme Court of India in 2004. While the sentence was scheduled to be carried out on October 20, 2006, the pending action on his mercy plea resulted in him remaining on death row. He also took the controversial decision to impose President's rule in Bihar in 2005. On July 27, 2015, Kalam traveled to Shillong to deliver a lecture on creating a livable planet Earth at the Indian Institute of Management Shillong. While climbing a flight of stairs, he experienced some discomfort, but was able to enter the auditorium after a brief rest. At around 6:35 p.m. IST, only 5 minutes into his lecture, he collapsed. He was rushed to the nearby Bethany Hospital in a critical condition. Upon arrival, he lacked a pulse or any other signs of life. Despite being placed in the intensive care unit, Kalam was confirmed dead of a sudden cardiac arrest at 7:45 p.m. IST reacted to Kalam's death with an outpouring of grief. Numerous tributes were paid to the former president across the nation and on social media. The government of India declared a 7-day state mourning period as a mark of respect. President Pranab Mukherjee, Vice President Hamid Ansari, Home Minister Rajnath Singh, and other leaders condoled the former president's demise. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Dr. Kalam's death is a great loss to the scientific community. He took India to great heights. He showed the way. Former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, who had served as Prime Minister under Kalam, said, "Our country has lost a great human being who made phenomenal contributions to the promotion of self-reliance in defense technologies. I worked very closely with Dr. Kalam as Prime Minister and I greatly benefited from his advice as President of our country. His life and work will be remembered for generations to come." ISRO Chairman A.S. Kiran Kumar called his former colleague a great personality and a gentleman, while former Chairman G. Madhavan Nair described Kalam as a global leader for whom the downtrodden and poor people were his priority. He always had a passion to convey what is in his mind to the young generation, adding that his death left a vacuum which none could fill. Kalam received 7 honorary doctorates from 40 universities. The government of India honored him with the Padma Bhushan in 1981 and the Padma Vibhushan in 1990 for his work with ISRO and DRDO and his role as a scientific advisor to the government. In 1997, Kalam received India's highest civilian honour, the Bharat Ratna, for his contribution to the scientific research and modernization of defence technology in India. In 2013, he was the recipient of the Von Braun Award from the National Space Society to recognize excellence in the management and leadership of a space-related project. Following his death, Kalam received numerous tributes. The Tamil Nadu state government announced that his birthday, October 15, would be observed across the state as Youth Renaissance Day. The state government further instituted the Dr.APJ. Abdul Kalam Award, constituting an 8-gram gold medal, a certificate, and $7,800. The award will be awarded annually on Independence Day, beginning in 2015, to residents of the state with achievements in promoting scientific growth, the humanities, or the welfare of students. On occasion of his birthday, 2015, CBSE has given the topics on his name in the CBSE Expression series. The Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, released the commemorative postal stamps on the former President of India, Dr. APJ. Abdul Kalam, on his 84th birth anniversary celebrations, at DRDO Bhawan, in New Delhi on October 15, 2015. The researchers at the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, had discovered a new bacteria on the filters of the International Space Station, ISS, and named it solely Bacillus calami to honor the late President Dr. APJ. Abdul Kalam. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe.